What is up, ladies and gents? We are finally back. We took a small break, watched some Champions League nights, had food, maybe too much food. Now we're back in the kitchen cooking that Premier League predictions again. And this is the most important part of the season. Second half, should I say. No more excuses. This is where the titles are decided. Top 4 dreams survive for those European competition spots. And some teams start fighting like it's the last slice of pizza. First things first, let's take a quick look at our Game Week 21 predictions and see the results, how we did there. As you can see, we hit 6 straight tips and missed 4. Not a bad result at all, but we usually do better than this. But still, considering the lowest one goes with 1.70 odds, I mean, we're doing a pretty awesome job hitting majority of our tips and predictions. And these are 6 straight tips, so I think we did a pretty good job. But I do know we can do even better than this, so let's dive into Game Week 22 and let's see how it's gonna go this time. Let's go. First match of the week, we got ourselves that Manchester derby. It's definitely one of those games where it can turn to be a game of the week where we can decide if Manchester is red or blue. So let's see how this one goes. Let's start with Manchester United's form. Manchester United in a terrible run. They faced the bottom 2 teams of the Premier League, Wolves and Burnley, and only got 2 draws. Unbelievable. And they sacked Ruben Amorim, and now I'm hearing there are rumors that they're gonna hire that coach from Belarus, Erik ten Hagov. So let's see if he's actually gonna come to coach this team. I still don't understand, how do you host Wolves, no disrespect to Wolves, but being the worst team in the Premier League currently, and end up getting a 1-1 draw. I mean, at this point I don't even think it's the coach problem. It's either United players are cursed or they care about their bank accounts more than the badge on their chest. But some good news for Manchester United fans that Mbeumo is back from the international duty. He's been one of those players, at least from my perspective, my point of view, like he was one of those players who actually was changing the outcome of games for United. Like I was really expecting Cunha to be that player, but it turns out it's gonna be Mbeumo. But at least from my perspective, because United fans may say, hey, like, are you watching the games or not? But every time I watch Manchester United game, I'm really impressed with Mbeumo games more than Cunha or any other players in that squad. But the funny thing is here is that Mbeumo's old team Brentford are chilling in the top 5 now, where Manchester United are lower on that ranking. Now let's talk about Manchester City. I don't know what's going on with Haaland. One game it turns into prime Messi and everybody's like, wow, he's the best player in the world. But then the next 3 games is missing like your food delivery. Even against League 1 team Exeter, Manchester City scored 10 goals. They won the game 10-1. Eric Haaland, worst player in the squad with 6.6 rating. I don't know what that is. Like, don't tell me he only played 45 minutes. I don't care. His teammates are scoring 10 goals. He cannot even get an assist. It's unbelievable. I don't know. I hope it's something temporary. And in the second part of the season, like how usually Manchester City, they wake up and then they go after the titles. So I hope Haaland is gonna wake up and show some consistent form. Manchester derbies are always hard to predict, but in the reverse fixture back in September, we all remember City won 3-0 at home. Can they do the same? Maybe, but the last time they visited Old Trafford, that game was goalless, 0-0. No goals, no spice, nothing. But this time, I hope it's not gonna be like that. My score prediction for this match is 1-2 for Manchester City, and my tip is both teams to score combined with under 5.5 goals, meaning 5 or less goals in the game, odds 1.80. On to the next one. Chelsea will be hosting Brentford, 8th against the 5th. This one is gonna be my green box tip at the end. So just a reminder for those joining for the first time, our green box tips are more confident tips. So if you see the tip that we provide at the end of each game in the green box, it means we are more confident about that tip versus the ones in the white box tip. So whenever you hear green box tip, you can know that it's more confident tip. But again, tips and predictions are never guaranteed. Reminder. Take your own risks. It's not a professional sports advice. It's just for entertainment purposes. Just keep that in mind. But back to this game. Chelsea last time out in the Premier League visited Fulham. That red card for Cucurella messed up all the plan for the Blues. Playing with 10 men from the first half is like cooking without salt. Everything tastes wrong. But still, credit goes to Chelsea because they fought toe-to-toe, conceding first, equalizing in the 72nd minute in the second half obviously, but in the end they still conceded and lost the game 2-1. But we gotta respect Chelsea for playing with 10 men and keeping up with Fulham. Not a bad game, Chelsea. Like, Cucurella, take a break, brother. Now, Brentford, they are absolutely cooking lately. 4 wins and 1 draw in their last 5 games. They smashed Sunderland 3-0 at home last time out and literally jumped into the top 5 now. And, they got no noise, no hype, just points and, getting into the top 5. Amazing, amazing achievement, Brentford. Keep that form up. Now, when it comes to the reverse fixture, which took place back in September, the game ended 2-2. Chelsea were actually winning the game, and then Fabio Carvalho actually scored in the last minutes and saved Brentford and got a point in that game. So heartbreak for the Chelsea fans it was. But the last time Brentford visited Stamford Bridge, the game ended 2-1 for Chelsea. So history gives some hope to Chelsea fans. But one big thing I have to mention is Chelsea have a very important match on Wednesday, I believe, against Arsenal in the EFL Cup. So I don't know if the coach is gonna rotate or we're gonna see some tired legs coming into this one. We don't know. But my score prediction for this match is 2-2 draw, and my green box tip is both teams to score combined with under 5.5 goals, odds juicy 1.90. On to the next one. Leeds will be hosting Fulham, 16s against the 9. Now let's start with Leeds first. Oh boy, they were on a 7 unbeaten run. 2 draws against Liverpool, smashing Chelsea, everything was going right. But then the last game happened. They were unbelievably unlucky, conceding in the 12th added minute. I mean, I didn't even know it's possible to score in the 12th added minute. And if you ask me, it's probably the latest goal ever scored in football history. They lost 4-3, but fighting like that at St. James's Park, not many teams can do it, let's be honest. So credits to Leeds. And now they face Fulham, and we got some interesting stats in this one. Fulham are also flying, 6 games unbeaten in the Premier League, same story as Leeds, draw against Liverpool, and beat Chelsea in their last game, copy-paste form. And the last time Fulham visited Leeds, pure chaos, goals everywhere. Fulham won that game 3-2, and honestly this one feels like another open game, goals, stress, no defending. My score prediction for this match is 3-1 for Leeds, and my green box tip is Leeds to score over 1.5 goals, meaning 2 or more goals by Leeds, adds juicy 2.30. On to the next one. Liverpool will be hosting Burnley, 4th against the 19th. Liverpool haven't won in their last 3 Premier League games, 3 draws in a row, 0-0 against Leeds first, and then 2-2 away at Fulham, and then 0-0 against Arsenal at the Emirates. That's a lot of football, but not a lot of goals. Feels like diet football. Burnley, on the other hand, drew their last game 2-2 against Manchester United. And honestly, that's not a bad result at all. But when it comes to the reverse fixture back in September, Liverpool won that game 1-0 away. Burnley were down to 10 men. That helped, but still, 3 points are 3 points. I don't know why, but I have a feeling this is the game Liverpool finally heat the food, stop serving the leftovers, and take all 3 points. My score prediction for this match is 3-1 for Liverpool, and my tip is second half to have over 1.5 goals, meaning 2 or more goals in the second half, odds juicy 2.10. On to the next one. Sunderland will be hosting Crystal Palace, 10th against the 13th. Sunderland's last game were in the FA Cup and they knocked Everton out of the FA Cup. Beautiful game. They won on penalties, stress and drama, but still a big result. Respect. But in the Premier League, their last game is not so great. They traveled to Brentford and lost that game 3-0. After being down 1-0 after the first half, they had a perfect opportunity in the second half to score and equalize a penalty, but they missed that chance. I don't know, the outcome probably would be different if they would take the chance, but they missed it. It is what it is, and they ended up losing 3-0. And now let's talk about Crystal Palace. Wow, 9 games without a single win in all competitions. 9. That's crazy. If you remember how they started the season, winning the trophy, beating Liverpool back-to-back, humiliating them, and now where they are, it's just unbelievable. That's why sometimes I understand why Manchester City do what they do. They start a little slacking in the beginning of the season, but after December, that's it. That's where Manchester City turns up and catch up with whoever is on top. Usually it's Arsenal. So I don't know if their history is going to repeat itself, but it's better to actually play the second half of the season better than overachieving the first half of the season, and then second you're exhausted and you cannot get a win in 9 straight games. That's bad. That's bad. I feel bad for Crystal Palace fans. And on top of that, they also lost to a National League team, Macclesfield, in the FA Cup. I mean, they got kicked out. That's not an upset. That's a horror movie, to be honest. When it comes to the reverse fixture back in September, it ended 0-0. No goals, no memories, nothing. But the last time Crystal Palace visited Sunderland was 10 years ago, back in 2016, which Palace won 3-2 away. Different teams, different era, different universe. I'm going small and tight in this one. My score prediction for the game is 1-0 for Sunderland. I'm backing the home team. They are amazing at home. And my tip is, actually Greenback's tip is, Sunderland double chance combined with under 3.5 goals, odds 1.83. On to the next one. Tottenham will be hosting West Ham, 14 against the 18. Spurs have only 1 win in their last 6 games, 3 losses, 2 draws, not great. Their latest loss in the Premier League was against Bournemouth. That game was about to end 2-2, but then Bournemouth said not today and actually scored in the 5th added minute and defeated Spurs 3-2. Pain. And when it comes to West Ham, just like we predicted, they lost at home to Forest 2-1, where we predicted the exact scoreline. What a shame. I really feel bad for West Ham fans. Their form is really rough. 6 losses and 4 draws in their last 10. Unbelievable. And that's not a bad run. It's a warning sign. And a quick reminder, the reverse fixture at West Ham ended 3-0 for Spurs. Clean, easy, no stress. And the last time West Ham visited Spurs, another lesson. Spurs won 4-1 at home. Everything points one way in this one. My score prediction for this game is 2-0 for Spurs. And my green box tip is Spurs to score over 1.5 goals, meaning 2 or more goals by Tottenham, odds 1.70. On to the next one. Nottingham Forest will be hosting Arsenal, 17 against the 1st. Let's start with Nottingham Forest. Oh boy, they got knocked out of the FA Cup on penalties by Deadpool's team, Wrexham. I hope I pronounced it right. I know it's Hollywood stuff, but honestly, if I'm a Forest fan, I wouldn't mind at all, because if I was a Forest fan, I would say, hey, like, we're already struggling in the Premier League, close to the relegation zone. We're doing all right in the Europa League, but these 2 competitions are, our squad is not that deep, so we're not keeping up. So why would you want to stay in the FA Cup and make things even worse? Like, compete in the Europa League like they are right now. As things stand, they can qualify for the next round. And they're in the relegation zone in the Premier League. So just try to survive that. You don't want to, even if you win the Europa League, you don't want to end up in the Championship, right? Now, when it comes to Arsenal, their last game was against Liverpool, which ended 0-0. Arsenal couldn't score, but also didn't allow Liverpool to take a single shot on target. Liverpool had 0 shots on target. Unbelievable. That's like locking the fridge, but forgetting to cook. 1 point each. That's what it was. Now, important detail here, I have to mention again that Arsenal have a midweek game against Chelsea in the EFL Cup, which is on Wednesday. Now, the big question is, does Arteta rotate, or does he play everyone and then pray? Now, in the reverse fixture, Arsenal actually won the game 3-0, but the last time Arsenal visited Forest last season, it ended 0-0. I mean, Forest at home are not easy. So I wouldn't underestimate Nottingham Forest at home, but I still see Arsenal edging it. My score prediction for this match is 1-2 for Arsenal, and my tip is Arsenal to win combined with under 4.5 goals, odds 1.85. Whenever we go under, they go over. When we go over, they go under. So hope they're gonna keep it under this time. On to the next one. Wolves against Newcastle, 20th against the 6th. Wolves have finally got their first win of the season. They beat West Ham at home 3-0, got the confidence, then traveled to Everton and actually draw there as well 1-1 by equalizing in the last minute. And after that, they destroyed their FA Cup opponents 6-1, and suddenly Wolves are alive, like coffee after a long night. When it comes to Newcastle, they are also in a great form. They beat Crystal Palace at home, then edged Leeds with a goal in the 12th added minute, and they also knocked Bournemouth out of the FA Cup on penalties. Busy and winning. Now, in reverse fixture, Newcastle won at home 1-0, and the last time they visited Wolves, they also won that game 2-1. So this is a big clash of motivation. Wolves are fighting to escape that relegation zone. Newcastle are hunting the top 5. Inspired Wolves, but I still kinda trust Newcastle in this one. My score prediction for the game is 1-2 for Newcastle, and my tip is both teams to score at 1.70. Wolves should be able to score after getting all this confidence, and I don't think Newcastle would go quiet. On to the next one. Aston Villa will be hosting Everton, 3rd against the 12th. Aston Villa are on fire right now. Only 1 loss and 1 draw in their last 10 in all competitions and 8 wins. Beautiful. Their last Premier League game ended 0-0 at Selhurst Park, but after that they went ahead and knocked Tottenham out of the FA Cup 2-1. Big mood, big energy. And when it comes to Everton, what is going on? They lost at home to Brentford 4-2, barely drew against Wolves 1-1, and then got kicked out in the FA Cup by Sunderland, not being able to score a single penalty in the penalty shootout. That's not unlucky, that's tragic. When it comes to the reverse fixture, the game ended 0-0 draw, but the last time Everton visited Aston Villa, it finished 3-2 for Unai Emery's team. Like, personally for me, this one is an easy one. My score prediction for the game is 2-0 for Aston Villa, and my green box tip is Aston Villa to win at 1.70. Really good. And if you want something a little bit different, a little bit higher odds, then Aston Villa to score over 1.5 goals, odds 1.80. This one looks really good. And the last game of game week 22, Brighton will be hosting Bournemouth, 11s against the 15th. Brighton's last Premier League game was away at Manchester City, and they did well, drew 1-1, big respect. Of course, the equalizer came from Mitoma. That man just shows up like he has the VIP access to every game. Bournemouth from the other side finally were able to get their first win in their last 8 attempts in the Premier League. And guess what? They did it against Spurs in the last added minute. I think it was the 5th minute. They won the game 3-2. Now the question is, can they keep that energy up? I'm not sure. They already got knocked out of the FA Cup by Newcastle after that. Ouch. But when it comes to the reverse fixture back in September, Bournemouth won the game 2-1. And here's the fun fact. The last 10 head-to-heads between these two teams, not a single draw. Nothing. Brighton won 6 and Bournemouth won 4. No peace. Just chaos. They always try to pick the winner here. So what do you think, guys? Do you think we're gonna see a draw in this one after 11th attempt? Because when you expected the least, that's when things happen. So I don't know. It may happen now. But my score prediction for this match is 3-1 for Brighton. And my tip is Brighton to score over 1.5 goals, odds 1.70. I was so close to market a green box, but let it be a white box. Okay, Brighton to score over 1.5, odds 1.70. Pretty good to me. And that is all, guys. That was our Premier League Game Week 22 predictions. I'm super excited that we're back with videos, and we'll only be doing probably table predictions on our Tuesday games. Whenever we have midweek Premier League games, we'll probably be doing those tables. So subscribe so you're not going to miss those. It's going to be a community post. And for those who like my content and would like to support, please do not forget to hype the video. It helps out a lot to grow this channel so I can dedicate more time and bring in more leagues. So yeah, that's it. Stay always active. See you until next time. Bye.